Alrighty, we're back, and we're with my favorite pistol that I currently own, CZ Shadow, as indicated. So, you can see there's no mag, nothing in the chamber, and nothing on the bolt face. You cannot see the glimmer of brass anywhere. But yeah, this is my competition gun. It got milled out. I got it milled at Cajun Gun Works, specifically for this optic, which is a kick-ass optic. So as you get closer, you see it's a giant ring over a chevron. And if it's far enough away, you can only see the chevron. So it's really nice to sort of naturally give you an idea of where your dot is without having to specifically look straight down the sights. And if you get really used to the ring, you can tell where the dot is based on where the top or lower part of the ring is, which is really nice for like if you don't want to perfectly find your aim and then you just want to pop off some shots quickly, you sort of know where they're going to be going still. Something people don't realize is pistol marksmanship is really, really friggin' hard. Everyone goes, oh, shoot it out of their hand or whatever, and asking someone to do that with a pistol is like, I don't know, trying to get a blue hair to be religious. All right. This is my least favorite part of disassembly here, which is getting this button in. Seems to not want to go. The fact that I'm hitting it with the primer end is probably not the smartest thing either. I wonder if I can just use this tool. Usually you can just push it with your fingers initially, but this hasn't been cleaned in quite a while, so it might be pretty stiff. Oh, right. I'm an idiot. Really should cut this out. But you're supposed to have it at a certain distance back. That shows you how long it's been since I cleaned this. You need to have it about this far back. Then it should go. So you see there's like a line here, right there. It's tough. It'll be easier if I just actually hold it by the red dot, which is going to possibly smear my fingerprint juice all over it, but I think it's worth. There it goes. It's damn near the only thing I don't like about this gun. Well, that and there's no decocker. This boy's going to be so friggin' dirty. The only way it could be dirtier is if it was shot suppressed. This has had maybe 1,000 rounds through it, maybe more. All right, she's a part, and I am dirty. I'm going to turn the AC off because one of the things I noticed is that the AC comes through really loudly on the recording. And I do have a new audio setup for this one. I bought a recording device, like a separate one that's just in my pocket right now. I have it connected to a lav mic, and I set it to be like close range and whatnot. So there shouldn't be a whole lot of other bullshit that's coming through. But why take that chance, right? I'm very picky when it comes to how things sound audio-wise. I sound pretty naturally nasally. And when audio quality goes through the window, that nasaliness only gets worse. And I end up hating myself. All right. Yeah, that's extremely dirty. It makes sense. This is my main squeeze. This is my main competition pistol. It is my favorite pistol. It's kind of heavy, but not crazy heavy. again, the only thing I don't like is how sorry, I bumped the camera. The only thing I don't like, besides sort of like the disassembly, is how hard it is to decock this, because you essentially have to depress the trigger and let the hammer down, which, as you might realize, if there's a round in the chamber and your hand slips, it will go bang. Not a fan. Not a fan of that, but since it's a competition gun, I don't need it to do double action. And the thing is, it does have a double action pull. That's the crazy thing. It has the capability of being double action. I don't know what situation it would ever be in double action unless you do that super dangerous prep method. Or the only other option is it's sort of there to, if you got a hard primer or something like that, you could smack it again and potentially get her to go off. But, I don't know. So I'm going to try and do these videos a bit more frequently than, well, literally any other video I do. Because, you know, these are very free form, probably easier to put out. Maybe it'll be once every 2 days, once every 3 days, maybe at least once a week. I am going to be preoccupied from the Thursday, August like 11th or 10th through to that coming Tuesday. So what I might do is I might record some of these ahead of time and then just put up an upload schedule, just see what happens. I'm going to put this over here so I'm not reaching over the whole time. I usually pick it up in my left hand, which is... As for what's been going on, I've been cleaning the place up. I'm going to be having company over. It's going to be a fun time. And they're going to be shooting this gun, and I'm going to be shooting this gun in like 2 days for Pistol League. It'll be nice to have it clean for once, because the last couple of times I've been taken out, I'll be working the action and then feel like, that's feeling a little bit gritty, and it's because it hasn't been cleaned in so long. I don't think it's been lubed ever, which I usually don't see as a huge issue, but a lot of people come around with striker-fired guns, and just don't enjoy the triggers on striker-fired guns. Also, having that big hammer, there's something romantic about that, right? I have a couple of striker-fired guns. You'll see them come up, I'm sure, but they're not my favorite. It also helps that this was the most expensive pistol I bought, but I really wanted this one, and also DiplomatDota Armory had an insane deal on it. Like, if you want to get a good deal on a Shadow, just watch DiplomatDota's Armory. For some reason, they put it on sale more than everywhere else. And I thought the price was basically as low as it was going to go, but I've seen it drop like to something like $100 cheaper than what I got it for. What I got it for was a really good price. So, that's nutty. Anyways. Another thought I've been having is gamers have been eating so well this month. It's absolutely insane. So many games that people are jiving on that are just like mainstays. You know, you got your Call of Duty, that's their next season. Extract shooters are getting another extract shooter in the form of Dead Zone that came out. Baldur's Gate just came out, and that's obviously been getting rave reviews, and good for them. Larian Studios make amazing stuff. And it seems like they've once again met the high bar that they had set for themselves. What else? Third-person shooter fans are eating real well because Remnant 2 came out and was an absolute banger of a game. And that studio, I really hope they're not crunching to try to meet deadlines or whatnot, because they released a really good game, and then a week later they released a 3 gig patch for it, fixing a whole bunch of stuff, making a whole bunch of improvements. I really hope they didn't crunch and then try to put out that 3 gig patch afterwards, because they must be just half dead. The lesser possibility is that they actually were responsible and were like, hey, we released this game, let's see what people think initially, and then let's make some changes if we have to and fix some bugs that they find. If they did that, then they're an absolute unicorn of a game dev studio. We're talking GGG tier. Speaking of that, Path of Exile fans are getting their next patch near the end of this month. And then Armored Core 6 comes out around then too, on August 25th. Absolutely insane. The amount of games that are coming out. I can't keep up with it. I don't know that you can keep up with it. And also, even if you're like an old school gamer that plays the really old point and click shit, I know people hate Modern RuneScape, but I kind of enjoy Modern RuneScape. Modern RuneScape is getting a new skill added to the game in like, what, 2 days? On the 7th? Crazy. Where is the thingy I took off of this? There it is. I'm going to turn the light on. I probably should have turned the light on to begin with. But I'll turn the backlight on here too. Without getting oil on it, hopefully. There, does that look better? That probably looks way better. It's just sort of on that cusp of being too dim to record things well. I can see perfectly fine, but maybe you can. I'm just threading this patch right here. But there's so many good things coming out in gaming, and it's just absolutely incredible. I never thought August would be one of the, you know, powerhouse months, but here we are. So it's fun. It's great being able to go after a whole bunch of things. I played Remnant through to the end. It was fantastic, and I don't understand how the devs can do so many things in the game and realize that people who are dummies might play through and just go through the campaign and be like, oh, I guess I've beaten the game, I guess I'm done with the game, and not realize that there's so much more content, just like literally an alternate campaign practically. If you don't know that, play through Remnant again. Play on the adventure mode. They gave it such longevity that I did not expect them to put in that sort of game. Just really surprising. Gives you hope. It's a little bit of hopium. Also, the barrel of this thing does not seem to be particularly dirty, funnily enough. Seems like all the grit and grime was on the outside. Yeah, that looks fine to me. Give her one more go, and then we'll start just cleaning things up in general, just wiping things up. Yeah, patches are looking fine. I'm waiting to play Remnant more because I played through it once, and then I did a couple of adventure runs. I'm going to play it more once another friend of mine plans on picking up the game, or does pick up the game when he gets home from his vacation. So I'm holding off on that, but in the meantime, I'm playing tons of Dead Zone, I'm going to be playing a lot of DMZ on stream tonight, probably some tomorrow as well. Dead Zone is one of those games where it's going to turn off a lot of people initially, and then the remaining people that are playing the game are going to be very good, because the skill expression in that game is so tremendously high when you have such a long time to kill. Oh yeah, you know what I forgot about mentioning? Elden Ring. Believe it or not, there's a lot of people that are still playing Elden Ring and still PvPing and stuff. Elden Ring just got one of the biggest PvP-oriented patches. And the thing is, it was only like 14 megabytes, and you're like, well, how could it have the biggest PvP patch in the history if it's only that much? Well, it's because they reverted a lot of things that people really didn't like, or not reverted, but they changed things that people didn't like to what they were like in Dark Souls 3. For example, they made poise, which is essentially, let me try to do this in terms that people will actually understand that aren't like already in the know about this. They made it so that when you first get hit by a weapon, it will very often stun you. And that's a huge change, because what you could do was you could wear armor heavy enough to just allow you to face tank the first couple of hits, and you wouldn't get stunned, and you'd just be able to trade into them. And so it led to things not being, you couldn't outplay things if people just tried to trade into you every time. But if you get stunned when you get hit, then you have the people that are very good at not getting hit, which is how you should play, are going to come out on top, because they're going to not get hit, they're going to land a hit on you, and then if you try to trade into that, you're going to get stunned instead. It's very much, basically they made it like Dark Souls 3, and Dark Souls 3 had fantastic skill expression. And then they also nerfed certain things that were really, really dumb. Like there was a movement skill. There are 2 movement skills in the game that gave you a lot of invulnerability and also moved you very far. They changed them so they don't give you as much invulnerability, but they still move you very far, which does way more for balancing and makes them less cancer. So that made them far less oppressive, whereas previously you would encounter it and you'd be like, well, I guess I just can't hit him. We'll just go to lube this thing up right now. So yeah, even Elden Ring players are eating real well. It's crazy. It's crazy the amount of good stuff that's come out this month. Let's get some on. This is clearly a wear point. This rail rests on the inside, so we'll put some here and put some here. A little bit there. That should just about do it. Let's get her back together. But yeah, I'm pretty optimistic on how things are looking. This probably needs to be upside down, doesn't it? Or can it just be like this? No, it probably needs to be upside down. Again, it's been a really long time since I've done this. Can you ever turn that on? I don't think you can turn that upside down. I believe this thing needs to be pushed up against the metal. Will that go together? We're going to find out together. It doesn't seem correct to me. Yeah, no, not a chance. See? There's no way that's going to fit. I never claimed to be an experienced gunsmith or anything. That's more like what I expected, where this notch here went around here. That seems more correct. I literally just square peg round hold myself. That is sad. What a nice trigger. What a lovely trigger. What a lovely firearm. Make it so you can see that again. I would highly recommend this dot. I love it. It has helped. It just makes things so that you don't have to look for your dot constantly. And so many times I'll run someone, and you know, you can train this out. That's totally another way you can do it. If you have a dot you like, train it and learn everything about it and work on your presentation so that you don't end up losing the dot. But with this one, you just don't lose the dot. And that's one of the things I love about it. A lot of the issues with losing your dot tends to be with presentation issues. So practice your presentation. But I would still get this dot because it's wonderful. I love this gun. It's not exactly buttery, but pretty smooth. Lock up. It's easy as shadow. Thanks for hanging out.